Talking Point platform, TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we gon' make salute.
Agreements after a mediated dialogue between the government and the APC. And one of the resolution them, now that His Excellency in consultation with the APC party will constitute a cross-party committee on electoral systems and management bodies review with a three-way leadership nominated by the government of Salone, the APC, and development partners. The body will examine the electoral system, structures, and processes of the 2023 multi-tier electoral cycle. The committee will also be informed by previous elections with a view for highlight and address the contentious issues of elections and results management, including collation, verification, authentication, and publishing of electoral data consistent with international best practice for enhance the credibility of all future elections as alone, and that we will guarantee the election and will be free, fair, and credible. 3A being said, the terms of reference for be developed that the joint leadership of the committee within 30 days. We did a today for say this committee don't work, and they don't come for carry reports on the work, and they don't come for carry reports on the work. What they don't do, and for sure the product of that work for sign these terms of reference. I want to take this opportunity to particularly acknowledge the presence of our international development partners who have been moral guarantors in this process, and for your support to the government and the people of our country. I should also particularly acknowledge the presence of Dr. Samoa Wilson Kamara, who see parties, but I also want to particularly pay tribute to the members of this cross-party committee. I want to acknowledge you all by your names. The APC reps on the committee, I've already mentioned whose work we mean say we dey at today. As soon as I notice, I switch somewhat between Creole and English. We agree so we go do Kringlish in our new language we don't discover. Now, without further ado, they do three major things here. One, we ask the co-chair them for talk, for provide an update and share their own updates. We start with the United Nations representative. We now in they represent development partners on the committee. And then I'll go in the way we'll sit down. So we'll listen from Dr. Mara and Dr. Gaima. After the statements, then, we officially sign the agreed terms of reference. So I'll get the terms of reference, we'll present here, we'll get a signing ceremony. And then we sit down and we open up for questions from the members of the Fourth Estate and the people that we deny. So without further ado, Madam Seraphine Wakana, Resident Coordinator of the United Nations, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And allow me to stand on existing protocol. Good afternoon, all. It's an honor for me to be part of this press conference today, which intends to provide an update on the progress made by the cross-party committee on electoral systems and management body review, which is one of the provisions of the Agreement for National Unity that was signed on 18 October 2023 between the government and the opposition, All People's Congress, APC. I'm also pleased by the achievement made so far by the committee under the co-leadership of two very capable co-chairs, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima and Dr. Kaifala Mara. The committee started its work at the beginning of January and concluded this first phase with an agreed terms of reference that define its scope of work for the next 5 months. I would like particularly to commend the co-leadership and committee members for their capacity to remain engaged amidst divergences and sometimes strong views on each other positions, and to be able to mitigate their differences and close the gaps between the different approaches and positions in a constructive manner. I believe that this is a result that should be praised by all of us, as it is an important step toward the promotion of unity and national cohesion after a very divisive post-electoral period. As stated by His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio in his national address of 24 October 2023, reviewing the electoral system is critical to strengthening Sierra Leone's democracy. And indeed, the intended examination of the electoral systems, structures, procedures, and processes, once coupled with impactful electoral reforms that reflects international best practices, will help to strengthen institutions and sustain democratic governance in Sierra Leone. It is important to remark that the process of electoral reform is nationally owned, and committee members will carry out the work of the committee. The United Nations and development partners remain committed to supporting the implementation of the agreed TORs of the committee, as well as the entire agreement for national unity. The United Nations is not only represented in the cross-party committee on electoral systems and management bodies review, but we are also part of the team of moral guarantors of the entire agreement for national unity. I would like to take this opportunity to call on both the ruling and opposition parties to support the full implementation of the TORs of the committee, as well as to jointly contribute to diffusing tensions in communities across the country, advocating for national cohesion and unity, and explicitly and consistently countering the divisive ethno-regional discourse and hate speech that has prevailed during the electoral period and beyond. This remains crucial for keeping the spirit of the agreement of national unity alive. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Wakana, for fumbling house. The summary that the UN commend the committee for the work they don't do, for the leadership they show. He pledged and continued support to this process. And he also asked that we all work together for bringing the tension down and for promote peace and strengthen with democracy in Salone. We also thank you for your support. I now have the privilege to invite the other co-chair who represents the opposition party, the All People's Congress Party. The very distinguished Dr. Kaifala Mara. Floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Minister. Honorable Minister and your colleagues, leaders of political parties, in particular the All People's Congress, honorable members of Parliament here present, other government officials, civil society representatives, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, civil society representatives, distinguished guests and members of the media, I join my co-chairs, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima of the government of Sierra Leone, and the UN resident coordinator, Ms. Seraphine Wakana, representing development partners, and my dear colleagues on the Tripartite Committee, to warmly welcome you all to this maiden result. We go help people then for examine the results, no go down well with the APC, many civil society groups, citizens of this country, and other institutions across the world. Because of this intransigent, because of this decision where the ECSL take not for published results, after way many people, especially the APC, believe say irregularities been take place. Among many considerations, the APC decide not for participate in governance, especially in parliament and councils across the country. I'm sure we all be aware of that. Now, this standoff day, as a result of that, we get the international community. We've been so worried and concerned that then step in. Along with the bodies away there, with partners away there, the diplomatic community away there, we've been get the Commonwealth Secretariat, ECOWAS, the African Union, and the National Peace Commission have been come for mediate a dialogue between the APC and government. And we all recall that's been take place in Bintumani from the 16th to the 18th of October 2023. That dialogue day being end with an agreement to all refer to as the Agreement for National Unity. That agreement for national unity get 8 resolutions. But we all now know that we, the Tripartite Committee, responsible for Resolution 3 alone. Waiting at this Resolution 3, I'm sure we all know, Mr. Minister don't make reference to them, but for make I reiterate, we mandate get twofold. One, now for review the 2023 elections, where the APC not really been pleased with and continue not for pleased with. And 2, for make we take a look at previous elections. In the process, we get for look at the contentious issues. We get for do the collation of results. It get for do with verification. It get for do with how they publish electoral results. Whether how they do things in electoral management is consistent with international best practice. And if you're not consistent, waiting the committee will recommend so that tomorrow future elections will be free, will be fair, will be credible, will be transparent. We all know, as Mr. Minister said, the cross-party get 3-way leadership where they are, and we'll get equal representation at the committee, that now government and we 7-7, Mr. Minister don't show them, and we sister where they are, Seraphine Wakana, in the represent development partners as the co-chair. We start with work, as Madam Seraphine say, on the 19th of December. It meant we'll not get plenty time again, not to 6 months again. So therefore double effort. But today, we are a transparent body. We believe anything we do get for kind of the public domain. We get for take Sierra Leone along. We get for take partners along. So we not only sign the terms of reference today, but they show a little bit how far we don't go and waiting contain these terms of reference. But for showing the work we don't do, not only we don't develop the terms of reference, and now explain to family then where they far and wide for say, the terms of reference, now the document where they guide the work of this committee, what we go do and how for do them. In addition to that, we don't develop rules of proceedings, how we for conduct two meetings. We don't also develop a communication framework. We get for take the people of Sierra Leone along this transparent process. Anything where they happen, get for be open for everybody for see. We don't hide anything. So we don't develop that. What we don't also develop a delivery framework. This delivery framework, they guide we, the nitty-gritties, how we work, for example, with the experts that we'll get for bring on board. This one get for show timelines how they work. We'll get we set deadlines will be set for ensure that to work within the time. And we don't also formulate a secretariat structure. We'll bring on board experts, for example, experts who are responsible for electoral laws, for local laws, experts who are responsible for elections management, and experts who are responsible for institutional reform. Because we think to say some of the institutions that we get for those elections need some changes for make. But how we reach here, fumble them? Government they under, APC they under. Now been tough one. Would they go to scatter force? Halala can say all man going away. But we come back. See in the smile. Would they come back to the issues? Say no, what you talk yesterday, not right. It's our government only. Dr. Marawiti says na APC no more serve. Well, what about the people of Sierra Leone? So sister there, she was playing that mediating role, for see how we manage things. Well, what is out there for Sierra Leone? How will we achieve that? So one make people then know that the work of the Tripartite Committee now for serve the interest of the country, would they grow above individual issues. But not forgetting that the people that will give with this responsibility will get for serve them purpose. So we'll not forget that. So we put the country first. So my family then go on for no, waiting then at these terms of reference. We don't talk about Lentia, one for no now, waiting there, how they call Kotoku? I don't know if I'm right. So waiting inside this Kotoku. Yes, so make we explain few to now, not to all. One, now for make this committee examine the 2023 election results. So the committee get for examine the 2023 election results. Then we get for examine previous election results as well. We get for look at the shipment, tallying, and announcement of elections results. We get for look at the procedures for certification and publication of results. We also get for take a look at data migration from the National Civil Registration Authority to how it get for feed into the ECSL arrangement. Complaints been there about, if I make a look at law learn lessons and correct what in there for correct. Then we also get for take a look at the report and recommendations of elections observer missions. For example, the European Union and the Carter Center. Okay, for take a look at all of that for learn lessons. So we'll go see how we elections go and what we go do for meet our best practice. We also get for take a look at the electoral laws, like the Public Elections Act of 2022, and all other laws in the country we get for do with elections. Question, they enough? They're manipulatable, somebody can manipulate them, gaps in there. What do we go do about these laws? We'll get best practice within the region and elsewhere we'll go learn from. If yes, we'll make further recommendations so that electoral laws will be good and will be excellent and will be in tandem with international best practice. We also therefore take a look at electoral redress mechanisms. You know, we get issues. You file petitions, sometimes take 2-3 years, nothing not happen. We therefore look at that. The timing, they announce a president. Few minutes later, the Chief Justice swearing, he administered the oath. Then the following morning, you file petition to the same Chief Justice. And then he only get limited window for bring all the evidence for submitting petitions. It meets best practice, lessons they will go learn. We'll take a look at what things that happen in other countries. And then thing they will get for do. Then we'll also get for do functional review, take a look at some institutions. ECSL, we'll get for take a look at then staffing profile, the institutional profile, decision-making profile. Things that we will need for do in then institutions, not just ECSL, but the other one then who believes they get one or two things for do with elections. We'll get for review them one then day. Fumble them. During the course of we work, maybe we'll get the need for invite people and for make clarifications, whether not the security sector, whether not ECSL or anyone, for make them explain further how things and they ask questions them so that the work of the committee will be wholesome, it will be informed, and recommendations will be good. Then this committee also get the mandate that during the course of we examination of all of them here, if we found a person, an institution or a group, say they don't undermine the electoral process of this country, we can make appropriate recommendations to the president. So these are some of the core mandates of this committee. And I want to make you know that the findings and recommendations of this particular committee, government and APC don't make commitment that their recommendations, they will be actionable and will be implementable. So the APC and government don't make that commitment. Today, we will sign the terms of reference. But we don't sign the terms of reference. We fumble the naya and out there go one for no, waiting at the next steps. We will try for work with sister, the co-chair, and with development partners for ensure that we quickly recruit the experts them what we need so that we will commence this work. But whilst we do that recruitment, this committee will take the honors for go across the country so that people them when able to listen to it today and we need for learn more, go know a lot more about we work. Now, we want to remind ourselves as a committee that we remit a sacred one, and that the expectations of Sierra Leoneans are very high of this committee. We also don't learn that growing concerns then at the country about elections, about the value for votes, about the freedom and security for casting vote, and how that vote could be protected, we know say Sierra Leoneans concern. That particular job with Ngiwi, we all go agree with me, now it's a sacred one. So because it's sacred, excuse me, we hope therefore for do we utmost, for serve we country, for ensure that we recommendations based on our findings. We hope for established facts and for cleared out around the 2023 elections. We'll therefore identify weaknesses in overall electoral systems with structures and processes and then make recommendations. Therefore, we'll be non-talk say this committee now one. At this press conference, we leaders and where they are go one for no exactly who they in this committee, waiting our commitment, we from the APC. Would they say we will do a judicious job? We'll collaborate with the government side and with development partners for ensure that recommendations then clearly informed by the findings we'll get for make. But get word for the people of Sierra Leone as well. As a committee, Salon self gets a responsibility for help this process. Now, two-way thing. Would they do the job for the country? And when I self get for be part of this process, now that make we get for continue for it, you know. But it goes beyond that. Make I just say this. And very important at this juncture for say this. On behalf of the committee for clear this air about elections rerun. I don't think any member there on this committee will they sleep. See the room don't go, yeah. We know the enormity of the job. We know that it's a sacred one. But one law we know also say that professional job then don't give it. Law not preempt the outcomes. Law not preempt the outcomes. We not allow we make we do findings. Based on them findings, we make recommendations. Law we not forget that government and the APC don't already make a commitment for implement the recommendations so we put forward. So they ask everyone for be patient. The one then where they do rumor mongering, where they write or pass or do any kind of thing, with the big una for make una focus on one thing, listen to what in the committee they do. That is why we don't put in place a communication framework for continue for engage the public. We now your mouthpiece, we will talk on ourselves. So if I go recap on this, I want to say, we no want preempt any outcome. We want to do we job judiciously. We go for do review, do we examinations. Based on we findings, we will then make recommendations. And I want to make una know that everything we do not a secret. Everything we do get for day in the open. We they take Sierra Leone along. So make una know say nothing no do get for cover. Any findings or recommendations so they get for be factual. Yeah. I want at this juncture, I don't touch on this time they against me small, Mr. Minister, they round up now. You know, within our opposition, we know we mandate in resolution 3. It don't necessarily touch the other resolutions. But I've been don't say this today, and I want to underscore this today, that some of the resolutions and they suffer, we need to make good on them. Like resolution 4, the release of persons arrested and detained, discontinuation of politically motivated cases, support to resettle internally and externally displaced persons, payment of backlog emoluments to elected MPs, mayors, chairpersons, and councillors, among others. Even with 4 poor councillors na bo today, they not take their seats. You know what they say? Yeah. By the time the committee they don't invoke, let be to say most of the resolutions yeah done they don't. But if they continue for park, we self can make your recommendations, the boat will be an overloaded one. So we, the APC, they continue for crave the indulgence of government with then goodwill for collaborate with we under this part of the National Unity Agreement for make we implement some of the resolutions them so that the public will continue for get confidence and we all will continue for the on the part of the peace and cohesion what they talk about and pray for always. We are sure that our partners are standing by to continue to provide support. And let me therefore close by commending our development partners and the wider international community for supporting this process with the ultimate aim of saving our democracy. We thank the United Nations for supporting our meetings and providing coordination. The Commonwealth, the African Union, the European Union, ECOWAS, the UK, the Irish Embassy, the German Embassy, and all of them. And we thank the US for providing $1.5 million to support the process through the USAID implementation window. we want to thank our respective principals, in particular for us on the APC side. Una thank you, we una put confidence in we for serve on this committee. And we say before God and man, we're not going to let the committee and we're not going to let the APC and the country down. We want to say a big thank you to all other party members and every other person in the country, including civil society and una, the fourth estate. We want to tell una thank you for una commitment, and with the ask, please, make una go for accurate reporting. If una get issues, una ask we. Very soon, within we communication framework, una go know who point person, the person will go lead communication for this, so that una go to interact and put out the right information for the consumption of the public. I want to say thank you to my colleague them. I want to say a big thank you to my brother, Pagaima, who can go back and forth. But they say, no, Mara, I don't agree. I consult State House. I say, myself, I don't agree on this. I go to the party. The following day, I don't consult, yes. Mara, I don't consult, no. Well, we agree. A tough one, I fumble them. Very tough and difficult. With the crave on our indulgence, make una put on our confidence in this committee. We will and shall and deliver what una they expect of we. One for tell una thank you, may God bless una. Thank you, Mr. Minister.
Thank you very, very much, Dr. Kaifala Mara, co-chair and representative of the All People's Congress Party. Once in a while in history, people will be required for stand up, for do the right thing for the country and put the country above self. I think we don't hear statements. We're reflective of the membership of the committee. We in that spirit today. We, the people of this country, we mean talk for all to the other co-chair, we represent the government of Salone. Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Family, my apologies for the voice because I traveled late, so that's a terrible bad voice. I want to stand on all the salutation protocols and all the protocols my brother Dr. Kaifala Marado established in terms of salutation or greetings and for the opening. My family and I also we were there on the 23rd of June 2023 and 24th of June 2023, Salone do number 5 election after the war. I think as a nation, irrespective of the facts we will do review, this now until we celebrate that we don't do 5 elections after the war. It means as a country, we don't begin from move. Also, the other good news about that election is after 60+ years of this country, if memory serves me well, now the first election down there, we, the people of Sierra Leone, we put money inside, we run them for ourselves. We partner the help but what the help the help go to we other brothers and sisters them who they run NGO for do some element of voter education, civic education. So if I go to encourage that perhaps very late, but it happened, not to all them, therefore the run we election and for we self. So for congratulate yourself and for tell we partners and thank you, where the push we follow be not only responsible, but let we self begin take your responsibility into our own hands since we say una independent states. Family, we all know say we got that election. The election cycle of 2023, we base them on the revised Public Election Act of 2022. That revised Public Elections Act of 2022, now it's inform them. In 2007, 2012, 2018, the European Union filled large number, hundreds, close to 100 people. Then got to allocate, then got a long term, then got a short term, Each time when they do the election, they will make what they call elections recommendations. So when President Bill come, and with my humble appointment, it's always say embarrassed, because in a political dialogue meeting, the European Union say, when it comes spend money per elections, we do not take the recommendations seriously. So most of the recommendations of 2007, 2012, 2018, that they inform the Public Elections Act of 2022. So in a way, quietly, some form of electoral review, they don't start. So what we do at this committee, the committee board, I make reference to the Lord and they, we they deepen them, we they go deeper and we look at what's in the left. But let's not also forget to say, in the lawmaking process, we come out to government, we get another very important arm of government, under the legislature, under parliament, where government take bill, under proposal to the house, it got for go lobby for let them pass them. So until the waiting government go put, not to all things go pass, but most of the things go pass. So government self no say, it may not have been a very perfect law, because me and I are coming in the process. Something that they will want inside from the recommendation, Parliament in its wisdom, like they normally say, if you say enough for the day. And I think my friend and brother, Honorable Chernobyl Bindidi, at some point they even asked me if in a Parliament at the work. So whatever happened, we still use that Election Act there, plus the PPRC revised legislation. We also use the phenomenal GUI Act we make for the very first time in this country. We insisted and comfortable small students that get meaningful political representation across age in the House. The election results will come out. I speak on behalf of government that the election results were pronounced a win for His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio. And as per Constitution Act number 6 of 1991, the judiciary carry out one of its separate mandates for the swearing of His Excellency and the assumption of office. That will happen. Immediately after that, the ECSL, I'm not going to brief for speak on behalf of them. The ECSL been published some results in the Gazette, or published results in the Gazette for honorary members of parliament, paramount chiefs members of parliament, councillors, chairmen, and mayors of resort. There was an expectation after that, say all man who win will go either to the council or to parliament. Our brothers and sisters in the All People's Congress issue a statement that they will undertake, quote, non-participation in governance. Having said that, His Excellency the President automatically realized, say, this can be serious because governance is about inclusivity, it is about participation. But more importantly also, people had voted for people who have been declared winners. They need to take their places in house. They need to take their places in the council. So it starts for those who are rethinking. And that rethinking started in-house first. What did he do? He called members of government at high level, then discuss, and we realize, say, there may be need for look at the electoral architecture once more again. But family alone will say, not only alone, most parts of the world, electoral reform is an ongoing process. You cannot get it at a go all of the time, one of the time. So, family will realize, my co-chair, Dr. Marabic reference, His Excellency, the President, and the opening of this life of Parliament, it will make pronouncement at Parliament. It say it will put together a committee for look at the electoral system in the country. At that time, it will nominate a vice president for chair. But shortly after that, when another state institution, or for comment, if you know the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, what they call Peace Commission for short, they decide for start for engage with the brother and sister at the APC. And they inform, say, with brothers and sisters at the APC, they want to discuss critical and burning issues pertaining to governance. Well, on the side of government, we believe, say, the Peace Commission, a product of the Loma Peace Accord, we believe against Sweden should be proud of because it take before set up, but finally we don't get them. They were allowed to go ahead. And so then facilitate what to get the international mediated dialogue. But I believe, say, even though we get some people that we would call from ECOWAS, the African Union, Commonwealth Secretariat, We self-self been for that process there. I think I will do most of the talk. And at this point, again, I want to join my brother for this special recognition to our elder brother, male former boss and leader of the APC, Dr. Samora Matiwisin Kamara, where he not only been there, but he been there full soul for 3 days. And that gives back, like what my brother say, to the agreements. Now, this tripartite agreement, we don't call the agreement for national unity. We'll go on Kunawe in the column, the Bible. It ties we down, like what my brother say, to resolution 3. And important, it don't clarify that, and I don't even bother on that one. However, when we discuss, the idea was that the All People's Congress, through Dr. Samora Matiwisin Kamara, for them nominate to His Excellency the President, people from the APC. And the President will use the nomination for constitute the tripartite committee or the three-way committee. But the President, looking at the nomination and believing, say, there is need for more inclusivity and more participation, he decided to approve all the 7 nominees with them said. So therefore, the brother say, because they send 7, instead decide now say, nominate 7 on the side of the government. So now we'll get a magic number of 7 for the APC and 7 for the SLPP. And one more now, brother report the progress we don't make so far. But I want also to say, the government of Sierra Leone firmly believe in this process. And because after the report recommendation will then be presented to the president, and the my brother say, for look at the implementation and the rolling out, the government will take all the residual functions as part of the effort of government for deepening and strengthening democracy, but also for strengthening democratic and national state institutions. Before they come, I go take leave of him. They tell me, say, this is good. When I continue, let the committee work so hard so that we're not going to make the same mistake all of the time. I put on that one. So, what's in this committee? Co-chairs, a lot of permits me to explain, because in my other life as presidential governance advisor, a lot of I do media monitoring. I realize, say, Mr. Chairman, I realize, say, some newspaper articles, probably because we'll not be done do this yet, probably because of lack of adequate information, but they make some statements or assertions. And I just want to say, what are the issues around the committee that the committee is or may not be? First and foremost, this committee is a product of political dialogue and political settlements, not to a statutory committee, not to a commission of inquiry, as it were, because as you say, there are times some people don't put that together. The objective of this committee, when my brother don't read very well, and I want permission of the chair, Mr. Minister, I read that in Korea, English explain in there. The fundamental objective of the committee is the enhancement of the credibility of all future elections in Sierra Leone. This is critical so that Sierra Leone will move together with other progressive countries in the international system. So whatever we do, one key thing what this committee for keep an eye on, in the words of the colleague co-chair, probably one signpost, is that after we don't do this job, all other elections will kind of salon going forward. We will make sure say whatever challenges we don't experience in the previous 5 elections, those challenges will no longer exist. Again, this committee, like my brother say, it will invite people for can talk to them, which means therefore this committee not to an investigative body, not a review body. Also, I want to allow to me say the mandate of this committee, as at the time it was signed on the 18th of October 2023, is 6 months. So which means for now, until otherwise, maybe the principal negotiators, my elder brother, my boss, Dr. Samora Kamara, and the chief minister as principal negotiators come for discuss. I can continually remind my colleagues in the committee, say, we are a creation of 6 months. Whether it will be aborted now or terminated or allowed for growth for now, the principal say, whether they send we, then we'll care for tell we. And whether the end states, so we terminate. The end state or point of termination will be a report. And that report, it got for recommendations drawn from all what you go don't find out in the various segments and most of the things that my brother referred to in the terms of reference. And that report will be submitted to His Excellency the President. And we don't agree, like we say, that once it's submitted, it will consult or engage with the APC for law will look at the implementation of the committee then day for the good of all of us. Co-chair Dr. Mara talked about the other 7 resolutions. The other 7 resolutions then fall outside of scope. However, I go on and know also in the media that from the government side, we don't receive lots of representation from other political parties, that we are dealing with only one political party and there are 17 registered political parties. The good thing is, in one of the resolutions, I don't know whether it's resolution 5 or 4 or resolution 5, there is also provision for inter-party dialogue between the APC, the SLPP, and other political parties. So if there are political party representatives here, I believe there's an opportunity in that platform also for them to engage at that level and bring them process. And this is important. Why is it important? Because we are talking about future credible non-contested elections. And these other political parties also will equally be participating in those elections. So it's just was logical and ethical that they also become part of that. I want to conclude for saying, His Excellency the President has been approached, and rightfully so, that because this committee now about Sierra Leone, now about the people of Sierra Leone, and about the government of Sierra Leone, the government of Sierra Leone is bound for invest some money in them. So it don't commit, say, let the chief minister do the necessary paperwork within government for mandate them within the laws for let them put some money into running and the operations of this committee. So that it not only become our partners supporting the committee, but it become a committee supported by the government of Sierra Leone and its partners. Co-chair, I want to end for say, the review and the report and the recommendations from this committee, it will be very timely for the work of government. Because in the big 5 game changers, we don't put inside the medium-term national development plan, we go to call pillar 4. That pillar 4, it talk about revamping the public service. And if we revamp the public service, ECSL and all the other election management bodies where they go on a review, they belong to the public service. So part of the work is being done on this side, and it will feed into that day. And I think that process itself will feed on that. I want to end on this note, what the president also tell me, that I for inform the committee and all of us and co-chairs and big brother Dr. Samora Kabara say, as the president of the republic, he is committed to the process and he will support this process to a logical conclusion. And final bit of it from me is the fact that, like Dr. Mara say, law not preempts the recommendations, but as we seek, consistent with our mandates, we're not going to natty way right at the mandate say, law will discuss about when a next election will be held. Until such time when it comes up, and by the laws of this country, the next election, if I should quote the Minister of Information and Civic Education, are due sometime in 2028. Thank you very much. And I want to thank the partners, civil society, colleagues from the APC, the media, and all Australians out there for their patience, for their courage, for their understanding, for allow governments, for work with the APC, for put this committee together. And I plead again, join me co-chairs, particularly my brother, Dr. Kaifala Mara, Lord, show patience and tolerance and accompany this process so that we do it for make Sierra Leone better, stronger, credible, and part of the international civilized world. I want to thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Co-Chair. And thank you for pledging the support of the government of Salone. I can also say that I know, His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio, they follow this process very keenly, and he fully committed, the government fully committed. In fact, today's press conference, normally we can do weekly press conference, we set aside and say we give this platform and partner with the committee. A part of that commitment, they say we take this obviously at the highest level. I want to take this opportunity as well for acknowledge, say we get the Deputy Mayor of Wisiti, Idinaya, Your Worship, Mr. Kwekulisk, ASQ, the chairperson of the All People's Congress Party. This, if I tell you the history I get with Uncle Minkailu, I'm not going to understand. But I want to say you're welcome. I acknowledge your presence. I want to acknowledge the chairperson of the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party. I see come in very quietly at some point. The very distinguished Honorable Dr. Prince Hadinsef there. And my colleagues them in cabinet, many of them there. The Honorable Minister Mark Kalon, I see Honorable Minister of Local Government, I see Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Deputy Minister of Higher Education, and other VIPs. Now, we don't reach the high point. I want to invite, then they call themselves the farm. Now we know the works of this committee are not small because I don't attend the meeting. The Honorable Alpha Sise and the Honorable Dr. Richard Conte, and they call themselves Sise Conte Farm. Now they will they work really closely together. While I'll put your hands together for them to very fine statesmen. So we can do the official signing. So when I come on this side, we'll do the official signing. So then we'll lead the process. The three co-chairs and they sign and initial every single document based on which they explain to Winaya. And we see the true results of collaboration and patriotism over what we know say, yes, difficult, contentious issues, but we're willing as Sierra Leoneans for put aside other interests so we will lift Salone above all else. So now we witness the official signing. Honorable Alpha says, I think we'll get some press people in there, so you go there on the side, so you say exactly. Exactly, so you say go there inside the frame. So they get a chance, now this will come for. Then the sign made and no miss no. You know, go completely out of line. We're respectful. Would they ask that question there? So, if you do not after the signing, they can open up for questions. But for owner, we not plan to cancel the press conference to make I tell you once in the rules. Today, we get 3 superstars there and 3 superstars there alone. We're not the co-chair them. Nobody need to use this platform for let on celebrity. Eh? We want on celebrity to create your own. Yeah, you ask questions. I go on for call on the members of the committee for come forward. We want to do one quick photo up. So I go there, then go lift up the paper that they don't sign. We'll take one picture now, and then we'll sit down again and take the questions. So one call on the Members of the committee for CAM. All right, so I'll ask you all for remain seated. As he say me, me homeboy from the great state of New York, His Excellency, the Ambassador for Salon to the United States, Idea, Honorable Sidiki Wai, Your Excellency, thank you. It's great to see you here. Thank you. I for acknowledge your very me in a New Yorker there, so we'll get separate conversations. Anyway, now we open up for questions. As always, it starts with the question that we already can online, because I want to encourage you now for the use the online platform. Number one, when I listen, please, thank you. Number one question. Now the mandates for the committee for investigates the election and recommend for rerun on a just for let a reform election law. Second question, along very similar lines, so I get for asking I want to answer this question before we go. The committee get the power for request a rerun if they find flaw, or if no, the government's for the sake of the person say if the government will request a rerun based on a recommendation. So this question of whether rerun day and the possibility of a rerun, it will continue for be asked. And I think today we'll get to Nanaya. I think
Honorable Minister and Chair of the occasion. I think in my presentation, I make it categorically clear that even by the name, electoral systems review and management bodies. For now, na review they do, we'll not get a power investigation, but we go invite, we go encourage, if you are well-meaning Sierra Union, and you believe, say, this is something that is good for the country, this is something we're supposed to do for our country good before, I think moral suasion will draw you for come and accept the invitation and respond to it. Straightforward, we get a mandate as of constituted committee for request for a rerun. No, to the best of my understanding of the mandates. And the documents will be put out, and Honorable Minister, I will encourage you that you try to put it out so that people can read and understand.
Yeah, thank you so much. During my presentation, I make reference to a few things, and I've been very clear about them. One, now for take a look at the 2023 elections. And second, correct? Yeah. We don't do a good work as a committee. We don't agree, say, we'll get for take a look at election results. Law no preempt the thing. Let the results come, we'll look at. I think we'll get more than 2 million people will vote, not so? 2 million PC side. The reason why we sit on IR forgets this review and why would they get this meeting this afternoon for informed Sierra Leoneans? Now, because something happened where not being right. And as my brother say, he said the president don't make a commitment for support the recommendations of the committee. Me now professional. I do my recommendations based on my findings. Let the result then come on look at based on our findings, we don't make recommendations. Whatever that recommendations get for be based on the findings. So they say location, let the result then come on, we'll look at them. Thank you.
Okay. Normally, I will ask a follow-up question, but I allow let the president come and then Mr. will get a bite. But there was a question on FGM. Being approved, the draft child rights bill, the revised bill. And one of the provisions in that bill there, now for particularly prohibit the practice of FGM on females who are below the age of 18. We believe that there will be a big step towards reforming this and preserve the circumstances of these deaths are being investigated by the authorities, and then when they were responsible will face the full force of the law. Broader reform conversations, as I say, we believe they are ongoing, and the minister they work on bringing back, follow past the appropriate laws them, so that we will get the reforms that we need. All right, now questions. I see hands up. You know the rule. You put your hands up, and I'll pick 5 at a time. Okay, 1, 2. Three, 4, and 5. Okay, go ahead.
Mina.
It's not the question we ask. It's not the question we ask. Answer, but I think it's a question of trust. Pick that up. Okay, number 4.
Yeah, Lawrence Williams, editor of Freetown Post. My question is very direct. Does the review process involve subjecting the ECSL election data to examination, yes or no? And lastly, I would love to know whether that document you just signed will be made publicly available.
Thank you very much. Number 5.
Thank you very much. Mohamed Bikroma, Civil Society.
We're not going to ask for that. Number 2, Concord time, somebody asked how I go strike the balance between my party interest and the country interest. When you do the right thing, you never get it wrong. It serves both purposes. That is why I say we commit for do the right thing. And that is what we're going to do. If we do the right thing, it will meet the needs of the party, it will meet the needs of this country. Just do it right. You won't get it wrong. Thank you. About trust deficit, me, I don't like for talk about trust and deficit of trust in this country. We all know we have all man in company profile. I want to end on day. On ECSL data, we don't talk to say we go for examine the 2023 elections. I don't know, like I say, we always get problem with semantics. I stay with the words where we define with committee, we examine the results of the 2023 elections, where ECSL therefore produce. And yes, this is a transparent committee. I want to say whatever work could they do get for be public, and I wish say whatever would they do will continue for be public, so that everybody will get access to them. Would already make that commitment. Thank you so much. Mr. Koma, about civil society. You know, we get for tell we self true now. And I say this based on what I say just now about trust. It's very easy for make people then lash at politicians, say they know they do the right thing. It's very easy. Sorry, Mr. Chair, I want to digress a bit. When me and the Minister of Finance, you will ask this question, and several others where they are no say, I've been to get quarterly meeting with civil society. At a point to even they subject the implementation of a national budget to scrutiny. Not so? We involve in the budgetary process. Even while they co-chair the G7 plus, we continue for work with una. At no point in time we do something no involve civil society. But civil society self don't go bad. Let me tell you self true. You know, it don't they smell a little bit. It don't they smell a little bit. I guess some civil society organizations in this country, you see society, I get trust and confidence in them. This my brother, I get trust and confidence in them. I don't meet with some civil society, I know one name names. I trust in many of them. But if you put all inside the bag, because some civil society organizations been there, we've been to do certain things that were not right. And they serve the interest of the country. It's not. So if you civil society, they go outside the scope, they do things were not right, yeah, this is not the place for to come. Una go by una mandate. With the hope, according to with terms of reference, that will therefore open up the process. Civil society therefore be involved. We'll therefore invite una, we'll therefore talk to una, we'll therefore integrate una ideas. If you get results or you get anything we get for do to election, ready to because we get for can I host for ask you on our office for make you give whatever you get for inform the process. So value now. But wait till they say let civil society self sit up small. You know, Grand Komon say na Kwenadu we say we advise the kenda. No, if you advise the arata for make it left for eat the kenda, advise the kenda left for smell. Yeah, thank you. So civil society get for involved. We'll go work with you now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Normally, during the press conference with minister and all, I can time them, and I can get where they come in for let them summarize. But today, a special day. I want this is not part of the process for let we speak with mine, and I want for tell I attempted for defense civil society since that space they are come on, but I know they do that now in this space where they so I ask co-chair for letting self respond to the questions. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, on the issue of assurances for recommendation, all I can say on behalf of government is that His Excellency, the fact say he removed the Honorable Vice President, who had already announced in the House of Parliament before both national and international media and our international partners able to tell them for step aside and for accept Winaya for stay at this process. is marked demonstration of commitment to the process. So if that is not something that can give solace, then I want support me on Kuyanda about the issue of the trust deficits in our society. But I want to say the president, and I mentioned that 2 or 3 times in the presentation, the president remains committed to the process. Let's wait for the report. The minister is more authoritative. He will talk to the issue of the MPs and the payments. On the issue of the international community, I want to say categorically no. Unawe gets access to them, and I could tell them, even before the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, Komon Peace Commission, His Excellency had already discussed and would already put an address to Parliament as early as end of June for say it gets a committee for review the architecture. Within the international committee perhaps too, they were invited for can become mediators, and they were also invited as co-chairs, and they were also invited as moral guarantors. When something good in our country, let we talk. The leadership of the country, now first thing say, maybe something wrong. Sometimes we need to look at the system. We need to make sure say the issues they probably will not address in the new law and the electoral system, and also you observe say sitting here as a governance person, as a political scientist by training, I would rather say, because of you say APC or SLPP, I would rather say perhaps what the political parties did in Sierra Leone is more internal democratization. Perhaps we need to get more internal culture of tolerance, accepting ourselves and going by the rules. Let's practice from within so that we can go outside. I believe say perhaps there more of that we need, but this is not a lecture I can give here. On the issue of whether this committee get power for examining the results data, we will be guided by the national constitution. We go call ECSL as a committee, but the ECSL therefore be convinced by moral suasion or by court order for CAM, because they are protected by constitution and by the Public Elections Act that nobody not use in power over them, not even the president. I want to repeat that. This committee go invite ECSL. This committee go encourage ECSL. This committee go cajole ECSL. But because this committee suffers from constitutional limitation, it depends on ECSL probably out of moral suasion or any other consideration for me to say, yes, we get the right to invite them. But until they decide for put at with disposal, we will not access and we have no power of coercion. And the final bit on the CSOs, my brother B to come. And since my brother say, Lord, talk true, well, President Biobi puts the committee together. He thought of CSOs. Some CSOs were nominated, but we are yet to reach consensus whether they for come or they not for come. But as we currently sit, technically speaking, the committee is short of CSO representation, even though they are nominated. So once we reach consensus with the colleagues them, because we don't agree now by rules of engagement, say everything will be done by consensus. Once we arrive at consensus, the CSO will come, but you are not forgotten.
Thank you very much, co-chairs. Would it take the final round of questions? I also want to encourage, say, one, when Dr. Marabin they talk about CSOs, he talk about all sections of society for take blame. The irony is that some people then clap. You will clap, you say for take blame. You say for part of the problem. The answer they will in the Guinea, we get one section with the clap for one set of answer, one section with the clap for another set of answer. At the end of the day, you know, for pick and choose the answer we want. When Dr. Mara or Dr. Gaima give one set of answer we want, now make they don't call on and say, we don't listen to the committee. This country now we all get them. Now one green country we get. And Salom big pass everybody now. Now make we all day now today, we try for let things go forward. May all boss be used for say the thing about democracy na the first 100 years. What does that mean? Democracy na a slow, long, painful process. This today we witness na a sign of progress in our democracy. That we can disagree, but we can at table and sign and agree on things and move forward. Now that new for applaud. We're not there because we agree. We all not agree on every single word. When bother say notice disagreements. That's the point. Because we get disagreements there. But we get for continue for walk through the disagreement and which we don't see today, a commitment. So I want for joining for call on the people of this country. We will not pick and choose the outcome we want. Let we support them for the outcome where they work together for move this country and with democracy go before. Last set of questions. Let me see the hands. 1, 2, 3. It's the press. I want to give chance to the press, please. Okay? So the press then I will put Naya. Mr. Chairman, wait, so I come back to you. Last say again. 1, 2, 3. And I don't already point to you at 3. Mr. You're not a part of the press. 4. And any other journalist? They are not journalists. That's why they are over there. The journalists in India. It's deliberately done. You're not a journalist? Huh? Okay. All right, you'll be number 5. So you get now you represent what will be called Albert Academy, the backyard. Una way under. All right, it's cool. I pointed at you so you know your numbers. Go on. Number 1, go now. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Suleiman Jalo. I work for Export Times newspaper and magazine. This question they go to Dr. Mara. You talk say some of the resolutions are suffering, which includes 4 of our councillors in our both district. They're not assumed office yet. As a political party, what will be not find out as the problem we are in, where we get it costing or them are not take office. Secondly, and you know, see the people in that part of the country they're underrepresented because government they can do the work.
Okay, I think I understand the question. I go play them back. No way.
Come on, guys, radio. I just want
please
to
backyard a big dear. Peacefully. Yes.
I just want to get clarity as that if efforts were made to reach out to the other political parties them for the part of this committee if we talk about diversity.
Okay. Other political parties.
Karim Bayo, political scientist. Thank you so much. I'm glad in my lecture now, Dr. Guy Madea, we taught us about electoral reforms. Now, I want more clarity. We get 1991 constitution, which is very sacrosanct. Then we get Public Elections Act. All the recommendations we then get for 2. Now the committee, we get a body already. Then get to go against them because we get to be guided by the national constitution. So I want for be more gets that insight there in terms of clarity. Rerun versus electoral review. Thank you so much.
So you ask question, we don't ask, we don't answer. Now you ask back. I hear you. You're not bad.
All right, Mina Khadija Bangura. I work for Liberty Online TV. My question they go to Dr. Kelfala Mara. On all two seem for the conflicting information, you and Dr. Gama, they talk to now they examine the 2023 elections data. And now Dr. Gama just don't state and clear the procedure for bringing the ECSL for produce this data. When I get for go through a court order, if need be. Since the APC now one of the things then this one have the request for say when I want to see the data, if need be. You as the person where they represent the APC in this committee, you go push for that?
And the gentleman will be in the under naming the fifth. Oh, wait. That Monday, yes. After that Monday, then we'll end with that one day. Yes, go on. Yes, go on.
Yeah. My name is Ibrahim Jawa from IBB Log. My question they go to the committee and the US ambassador. Rumors they go around say the 1 point.
Nice. But I don't like what you do that day because you're a journalist and you come in press conference. I don't like that. You know what you do and I don't like them. Next time you do that day, I will withdraw you accreditation. You can do press conference again. Okay? Don't do that.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Go on.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mina Bobodan Kamara, I write for New Citizen newspaper.
All right, I'll listen there.
Mina Bobodan Kamara, I write for New Citizen newspaper. Mr. Minister, this question I direct to you because in our previous press conference, you come out plain and make them clear to the people of Salon C, who forget about anything we get for do with Erion as per the Tripartite committee they look after. So it means try for say Dr. Kelfala Mara don't can make say if the recommendation call for that, then obviously we for expect Arikam. If the recommendation call for that, they will for look towards to that. So let me try for ask now is I want to know your point. If that now misinformation to the public or waiting at your source, I want to get that clear.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, now they can get the answer, Dave. Thank you for that question, Dave. All right, so we get listen. Listen. This is not the beauty of the process. Suleiman Jallo in question for Dr. Mara. Now about the 4 councillors that will not take the seats. He say that they means the people that we vote for that councillor then currently underrepresented. And waiting at the constraint women they not take the seat. They maybe represent NGC, just don't left. Even there, I think we get other political parties in the house as well. He asked Dandy, but I think we don't address Dandy about the inclusion of other political parties in our statement. But that question they come up again. Somebody decide for ask this question of rerun versus no rerun again, reform versus rerun, and say the political scientists ask. So I will give you another chance again. I think the point of this one I will say, Lord, be honest, Lord, be transparent, Lord, come on at least with some clarity for the people of Salone. And very important that we guide how they come here, because if you set trap for we all, we make things, we push the can down the road, and we handle that. So I will give you another chance for answer. And then Khadija say on the question of the legality by which you demand ECSL for give you data. He from the chairman say you go get for go basically first forget a court order. He say if you face with that situation and whether I misinform the public, you question at the left arm, I will let them done because I deal with you after this. Would I now for go first, Seth? I think now Dr. Gaima for go first. Dr. Gaima, you go.
On the issue of the councillors, all I can say at this point, I need to reach out again to the Minister of Local Government. But the information I got the last time was that as at the time when they be swearing the orders, some of them were, and then it will require. But I also understand, say, I'm not sure can I act it, that he has the authority to delegate for that to be done by a chief administrator. I just want to talk, say, Mr. Minister, I don't to follow up on that one. The last time me and Dr. Mara been discussing, but the minister was away, so I'm not been able to follow up with him. Dr. Mara make mention, say, some of the resolutions that they suffer, yes. It mentioned a name. Presentation, say, this committee has no responsibility with the rest of the other 7 resolutions. But between the two of us, we will done the fair way how we do that, to the extent that we don't even suggest, say, we'll talk to our principals. And who are these principals? Now, Mionkuya, Dr. Samora Kamara, and then the Chief Minister, David Senge, for see if they will get some conversation. But to move that further, from our side, in the office of the president, whose side are they support the president, vice president, and chief minister, we actually go ahead and prepare some metrics for track. We'll discuss with we brother and sister in our APC, and they were kind enough to accept. So we'll get a tracker where they try to look at those issues. So for example, we'll not inaugurate the one on the inter-party dialogue, where to the extent PPRC don't facilitate it, then they don't draft TOR. I think they don't decide for work on schedule of meetings. We will not clear it, I stop them, I say they need to come to Dr. Samora Kamara and David Senge for see who that would be the convener, whether not PPRC or not, but because we had so that, but that's one they move on. Quite a few of them move on. The one on the issue about political prisoners and the one that we had politically motivated cases, yes, I must confess, say, the APCB don't submit a list. I know for sure, say, the list should have been submitted to the Office of the Attorney General. This is the point, because some of those people, they were alleged to have committed some crime. The understanding is, what is the seriousness of such crimes that can be politically waived? There are some crimes, according to the legal experts, I mean, I'm a layman in law, there are some crimes where political settlement will resolve, depending on what comes from the other party who is affected. So that's to go through a system of process. But again, yes, I agree, say the list had been submitted, but the action expected is yet to be taken. I agree on that one. The effort to reach to other political parties, I mentioned and I say the other political parties, they don't actually write formally for say, hey, when I do electoral review and electoral management bodies review, who serve a political party them? The same product will come up from that recommendation. We serve again. Technically, this is just one political party, because I sit here on behalf of government. You go talk, say, government, APC, the SAP, the lead. But the chairman of the party is, and I don't get, by this arrangement, I have no obligation with respect for confer with her, because I'm operating as government. So 16 other political parties are still calling. That is a very valid view, but with the hope, say, through the inter-party dialogue between Dr. Samora Kamara and David Senge, so then they go find an avenue, how they go, well, last time they meet now for inaugurate inter-party dialogue, they suggest, say, sometimes they views that is support we. But since we don't forget public outreach and public engagement, so there's also the question here, well, thank you very much. The principles, you crucify the sentiments. The Constitution in any serious democracy In any serious democracy, the Constitution is near sacred and sacrosanct, near sacred and sacrosanct. So you know the subsume shortcut for anything. That is my position for me. But the recommendation will be going to His Excellency the President, not to me as governance advisor. And the final point here, I think the other one, the order for me, brother Dr. Kefalamara.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jallo. You know, waiting wrong na bo na simple thing, and not supposed to happen. ECSL submit the wrong list. Get to list number, not to say they go, the PR system. The one the way we know say 9 this. ECSL say, na this. Boy, I see that day. Enough, I know. Also, well, don't they pan this from October who signed this agreement till now? They not do that. That was why we write with the axe in the tracker. This is not a simple thing. ECSL, whoever responsible for this, make it take the APC list and administer oath. You know, they're in government, what do they do so? Whether they're in government or they're in opposition, now people there they serve. Able, then don't elect somebody from so difficult. Where they are in your car now, high able total. A simple thing. So the big deal, make ECSL clear this doubt. The list where the Secretary, where Secretary General don't submit to them, before the end of the week with the big, let them take and go administer oath, let council them begin work. It's simple as that. And for then agreement to say in order within the mandate. But Mr. Moderator, allow me make us say this. We don't develop tracker. You know, anybody who work in a state house as chief minister or chief of staff, you know, say na tracker you operate. We get tracker. We APC don't say the implementation of all the agreement there, make we upload them na Google Drive. So government no more go to report, we go to do simultaneous reporting. Now so they deliver. But no area. So now the problem that was why we said to General right, make we do this. So they ask that the council of the year for able to settle and this week, they go fine. Even for commission with moral guarantors, not you supposed to do by now. A fine by now, make you know what's in the inside the Kotoku. What you would reform na that constitution? What you want for tweak? If you see man the smelling, I'm not sure who say put out. Not so. So let come on and do. Let we know what's in it for. Now that make the interparty dialogue very important. So the big deal, make we implement the resolutions there, so that by the time the tripartite committee on the car, we don't go far. Okay, political parties and complain. You see why we person to make law again for be careful, ask yourself. Committee member now begin think. You get how many political parties? 17. Now 2 no more. Do well. You think that PR system is right? No independent. No, now wait. No independent candidate no win. So now some of the questions they are will get for begin ask. So you know they say the other hello, the other political will get for bring on board people. We will become observers and we will also play their own role. So make political parties then take out and make them know say themselves now part of the process as they go forward. Rerun. No rerun. Are they tired that answer to waiting my sister ask? About court order and how sacrosanct the 1991 Constitution Day. You know, Lord Denning, me not a lawyer than they are. He say not left the law na bureaucrats then hand. Law is very important for the survival of the state. If I make politicians a handle and sometimes politically. Why would they are? Would they are because something go wrong? Mr. President decide for form that committee. Lord tell we self true. To that date, I say they release her. If you know say what you put it clear, why for worry? So we they say, and I they go over this, I know I respond to this again. I want to listen to me clearly. This is on behalf of the team. We, now simple questions, would they ask, would they go by waiting, will mandate say, for examining 2023 electoral process. Not also, if we examine that, one day, me and una know for say, elections result na core part of them, and now they now mandate. Modi, bring the thing, law examine them, they'll make recommendations. Not so, no sweat. Would they do work professionally? Then say, every step is one step leading to a destination. We don't get the terms of reference. We don't agree, say, we'll get for examining results. Not just 2023, we'll get for look at 2018 and the others. Not so, that was how far fall back. But let the results come up, put and look them. Another thing to say, and it's very important, another thing to say, okay, make us say this. If you take a look at the Public Elections Act, I know I'm for go into law. I think now sections 52 and 93 clearly state waiting for do. And not to constitutional business, it law go by that law, you pull answer for law do this thing. You know why they say this? Are they crave on indulgence? Make we done with this thing within the next 4 to 5 months, law done with them. We're in a very bad shape as a country. The economy know they do well. This particular thing, they continue to cast long shadows over with political future as well as with economic future. Lockdown with this, make investors then get confidence for come. So we know say we get a mandate implementable. So let them pull the thing and lay them. According to international best practice, you get for producer. Now, say they happen all over the world today. In fact, to get access to Information Act, not so, access to Information Act, you can still pull on. So plenty laws and the law not hide behind one thing. We other law and they say.
I really hate to do this.
1 minute. So, madam, to you, we get plenty avenues. The law, the PPA Act there, Section 52 and 93. We get access to Information Act. We get plenty in them, including international best practice, including a commitment where ECSL will not make under one of the recommendations of the EU for say them go publish. So I know I make this press conference, immediately come a cast shadow over the work of this committee.
All right.
Law not do that. So make we find ways and means, make we take a look at them here. We'll go forward to recommendations and we'll check the electoral feature and fix and fine for ourselves. Let it come out there. Me are the big, then let them pull them. And Lord, and they will know. Lord, should all talk this thing.
All right. I want to thank you for the questions and the answers. I want to respond to that board I've been promised for response to them. I want to say a few things. One, I don't maintain the as Minister of Information, before I talk, I carefully choose my words and I check with both the law and the authorities. And I say now again, categorically, as far as I know, categorically, nothing in my understanding of the law and the advice that I don't receive, we suggest that this committee get the power for do a rerun or for mandate a rerun of an election. That's my understanding. And as Minister of Information, if you ask me that question, that's what I will tell you. That's my position. The reason we there now because we want to get a chance as a committee for explain the work and for talk about in terms of reference. So I'm for sure the post we talk say my commitment is clear. And also we have beaucoup political leader the way the social media will like for tweets where they talk plenty. Me no they lie. There are many people within a part of the old school politics of Salone. Since we talk through, I stick to the facts as I understand the facts. And that's what I say, and Yusuf knows and they stick to throughout. I also want to encourage that we will not litigate other issues that we know day before we know, for example. And let we focus on how they bring this cutting down for waiting don't be an excellent event. Before we go, I give you all 1 minute each. 1 minute, and this time I got time. And I ask una for say something in the spirit of waiting una say earlier. This committee, the request we Madam Seraphine asked una for do, now for also do things for bring down the tension. In the cause of where una the talk, and this you have done that here. And a real responsibility as Sierra Leoneans for continue to manage a complex situation and bring the tension down. So as we close, may ask of una now for say things to the people of Salone. We go speak to peace and to the future of a democracy. And it starts with news that you shared earlier, which when you requested and called on them to continue to bring the temperature down and to seek peace and national cohesion. So I just want you final words after everything you've had, and then I'll give them a chance, a minute each. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and happy to see it's already done through the press conference, but even that we can feel the tensions, but everybody was able to manage. So I wanted to thank everybody for participating. I wanted to commend choosing transparency. We are going to be transparent throughout the process. And for us as international partners, I wanted again to commit ourselves to support the implementation. We will be there to support, but we are not replacing the committee. We will bring expertise to support the work of the committee, to keep the international standards and make sure that the changes that you are looking for will bring peace and unity in Sierra Leone. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Mara, your final words, 1 minute.
Yeah, me want to tell every Sierra Leonean, make you calm down and wait, like I don't they say, make the process evolve load on with this. And I talk to the bloggers, them, yeah. We can grab no more than write or say anything, make them stop. You know, if we stop for talk about rerun and no rerun, we focus on and say take 10, kill Ange. At the end of the day, we will arrive at something we're going to make one move forward. I'm sure outside of this room, if people understand the message, and go by the advice they provide now for say, make you wait and allow the committee for doing work, make you patient. We will take on along, we will try for be transparent. I'm sure it will fine. So I want to tell government thank you on behalf of the party, the leadership of the party, for the steps we don't take so far for implement the agreement. Thank you as co-chair for the commitment we don't make for support the operations of this committee. And I want the leadership know this, make a party member then know, for say we will serve on this committee, now sacrifice or don't they sacrifice all along. We don't ask nobody for anything. We do this for God and country. We'll continue in that spirit. So my brother, tell Mr. President, thank you for in support and make the party self know say, me and my colleague them, now so don't they do, and I want to tell my committee members and thank you. If not for our support, I no go there, we no go there this evening. If not for our support and guidance, and all the tough things on I don't work on, we no go there. So
thank you.
So not to Mara, not the team. Make everybody know that. Thank you so very much, my brothers and sisters.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mara. And finally, Dr. Gaima.
So, so we on now in Famulem. I want to we begin talk what we mean. We say now one salon we get. We talk and say now one salon we get. We can say salon now we own. We say we not go other place but salon. So me appeal now follow we take that let not be a slogan no more. But let's love this country. Let we not make we differences them. Make we destroy the one country where we get. I did in a political role, but I'm not a politician like my brother Dr. Mara. And so politicians, there's several options. We, the non-politicians, but technical people, when they do political role, we get fewer options. And are we boku? We are not a politician, are we boku? So I want, let we put the country first, and let we make salon move. Let we put the country over and above the political party. In my lifetime, I don't see people that move between 2, 3, 4 political parties inside this country. But you're not going to move from salon inside salon, now one salon. So meaning therefore, salon bigger than political parties. We have people where the political party don't want, that they go docile, they say we're not interested, but you have to continue to be interested in Sierra Leone. Because Sierra Leone suffer, you go suffer. Dr. Mara mentioned the economy. The economy depressed. How you not go depressed? Tomorrow morning, we say no open shop. Final word is we mandate in end states to say the end. Now a report with recommendations we will go present to His Excellency the President. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. On that note, I want to say, now, yes, a round of applause for everybody. To the development partners, I see the US ambassador, the UK ambassador there, other embassies, they are heads of UN agencies, UNDP rep, political party leadership in there, Mr. Jesmet for the Suma announced you just know you've not been in the room. I want to say thanks to all. Our presence here alone mean a lot to both this process and this outcome. We can feel the beauty and the challenge of Salone in this room. It's the beauty that Salone is. That's my uncle there on the other side, my brother there and sister there on the other side. Can at this room with all this tension. We feel and hear the tension, but we also feel and hear contest is safe farm. We hear the two co-chairs and come together. At the promise of a democracy and at the promise of a country. That we for find way for make the tension in there, fuel we follow make this country better. So now I will close with. I want to tell plenty thank you again to the committee for the privilege you we follow partner for come with this press conference. Thanks to the members of the 4th estates for work they do for the critical needed questions that they continue for us. So the supporters of both the APC and the SLPP. Now we all get this country. We tell you plenty thank you for una come and for una to support this process. Next week, Ministry of Information and Civic Education will continue with the usual weekly press conference. I want to say again, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.
Just one platform for news every day in our country, alone. For education, entertainment, political affairs, TV. We got enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone. Like a big quantity, we breeze not a shit.